Andy, you've had a couple of days to settle into the role of captain. As a leader, how do you intend to lead?
I think it's just by leading by example. It's the easy answer, but that's what I aim to do. I aim to do like lead by example on the pitch and also off it. If anyone needs ever somebody to talk to, then I'm the man to do it. And if we need anything sorted on the pitch, then that's my job. So it's just about being there for the lads and probably being the middleman between the lads and the coaches if we ever need anything. But also put in good performances and try and lead by example in that way.
Could you have ever dreamed of being in this position when you made your international debut 5 years ago?
No, of course. When I made my debut quite young, so I thought I aim to be in this squad for a long time. So the longer it goes, you maybe start you didn't know how the squad was going to change. So once you've made your debut, you think can I captain this team or whatever, but you can't quite imagine it. So I'm delighted that it's happened at still quite an early age, that I can hopefully lead this country for a long time and hopefully have some successful days.
Have you captained teams before?
No, I've not captained, maybe only in pre-season friendlies or stuff, but it's something very new to me, and it's something that I'll obviously grow into the role, and I'll learn every day, and I can lead off the lads that are captains and take advice off some of them and get better every time that we meet up.
How would you judge the difference in the challenge that Scotland will face against Belgium compared to the competitive game that comes along on Monday night?
Of course, there's no hiding it. Belgium are one of the best teams in the world just now. They showed that at the World Cup. They were probably unfortunate not to get to the final, but they're a team full of world-class players. So we know they'll probably have majority of the possession, but it's about trying to do the right things and trying to be compact defensively, but also cause them problems going forward. We can't just sit back for the whole 90 minutes because they've still got players that can hurt you when you don't give them any gaps. So it's about trying to cause them a threat and push them back, but also, and when we've got the ball, keep it as well as we can and pick the right passes. But defensively we need to be switched on and be secure, and then Albania will be a different test. It's a competitive game to start, and it's a start of a campaign where there's a big chance for us to try and qualify, and that will be the aim come Monday.
And I saw you tweeting your congratulations to the women's squad the other day on their achievement. To what extent does their achievement resonate within your group to want to emulate that?
Of course, I think the game was on the telly in the kit room, and I'd seen the end of it when they were all jumping about and celebrating, and what a fantastic achievement for them. You could see how happy they were, and now they look forward to a World Cup, which is a fantastic achievement for the women's team, and well done to them again. But of course it leaves a wee bit of fire in the belly for any squad, and they'll be looking at that thinking that can be us, that can be us achieving that and going to a big tournament and trying to compete again, because that's where we all want to be, and that's that will be the aim for the start of this campaign and campaigns going forward.
Unfortunately, we've had a number of captains now come through in the position you are and said how much they would love to lead Scotland to a major tournament, and they've come and gone. How to what extent do you believe that it's possible within your time here as Scotland captain that we can actually do that?
Of course, I think the previous captains going back to '98 will all be they'll all sit there, and when they have a quiet time they'll all sit back and go, the one regret that they probably have is that they never qualified for a tournament. And for me it's a fresh start, and I think we've got a really good chance. I think we've got the right balance of squad, and it's just about trying to show that on the pitch. So I do believe that I'll be able to lead this team to a championship, but it's about the boys trying to prove that, me and all the lads, if we can go out and show that. And it starts on Monday, because this campaign there's a bit more chance of qualifying. They've obviously brought in the new Nations League that gives you a wee bit more chance of getting in the playoffs, and we have to take advantage of the two ways that we can get into it. And if we can do that and get to the playoffs or qualify automatically, then it's something that can put us in the history books, because it's too long's passed that we've not been in it.
Which captains do you look up to?
I look up to all of them. It's an easy answer, but I look up to all the captains that I've either played under or I'm still playing under. I think just now Jordan Henderson's a perfect example. He's helped me and all the new lads coming in, and all the lads, if ever they need anyone, then Hendo's the man to talk to and sit down. But I'm in a very fortunate position that I've worked under some fantastic captains, no more so than Fletch and Bruni that were here, and you can learn off all of them and take wee things off all of them and try and become a better captain myself, even in this early days of the role.
Do you think the captaincy can make you a better player?
I think it can. It gives you added responsibility, and it can drive you on if somebody's struggling. But for me, I've always had that drive, and a captaincy, once you're out in the pitch, of course there's all the back stuff that's so much more important, but out in the pitch we need more than one captain. We need 5 or 6 of us to lead us, and I do believe that this squad has that, and moving forward that will help us massively.
In terms of the best players in the world, where would you rate Eden Hazard?
I think he's up there. I think he's probably in the top 5 at the minute. I think I've played against him many a time, that I know what threats he can do, and even if he's having a quiet game, he can pop up at any point and turn a game, and that's what we're up against. But you can't. The problem with Belgium is you can't focus on Hazard because somebody else pops up. So that's one of the problems that playing a world class team. You have to be aware of all their threats, and we'll be ready for them, and we'll do our best to stop them. But like I said, cause them problems going the other way as well.
Is there something about him that makes him kind of different from other players you play against down south?
Yeah, I think he's special. I think the way he turns and gets at players and stuff, and he can commit probably 2 or 3 defenders at a time, and that's a very special trait. There's not many that have it, and I think he has it, and he causes been unbelievable for Chelsea and Belgium, and it's somebody that we need to watch of on come tomorrow night.
Andrew, you're playing at a level now that so many players in the Scotland squad would love to play at. When you train with them and you play with them and you look at the players you're playing with, the national team, do you see players that might be able to one day make that leap that you've managed to make? Yeah,
of course. I think all the lads in this squad have the drive to get better, and you see that more when you come away from the week, and how much they work in the gym and how much they stay behind training, and they all have that drive. Even the older lads that are maybe coming to the end of their career, they still have that drive to make themselves better every day. So the young lads that are coming in here, they have so much talent, and that's why the gaffers picked them. So it's all about the right timing and taking the right opportunities. Like a perfect example is John McGinn. I think he's flying down at Aston Villa already, playing at a massive club in the Championship, and to have by the looks of things, to have the fans as big a club as that on side early doors is special, and not many people get that, but McGinn's got it, and I know Steve Bruce already loves him, which is always a benefit, and if more players can do that, then the better it'll be for Scottish football.
Yeah, exploring that a bit further, you're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world, you played in a Champions League final. Do you feel, not a responsibility, but do you feel you have the ability to make a big impact on some of the players playing not quite at that level when you come and spend time with them here?
Yeah, I can try. It's if any of the lads ask me questions or ask any of the other lads questions, then we all sit down and talk about it. Of course, people will want to experience what I've experienced. I've been very lucky, in terms of, like, I've played in Champions League finals, I've played in big games, but at the end of the day, we come here as Scotland teammates. Nobody's above anyone, and that's where it is. But if people are asking for my opinion on anything, then I'll try and give them it. But like I said, lads are hungry to get better themselves, and they don't really need a kick or anything like that. So from my point of view, all the lads are they've got the right frame of mind, and that will continue that way.
Andy, for those who are maybe apathetic about this Nations League, the fact it's a new competition and there's not a lot of room for error, obviously, in a 3-team group, just how important is it going to be to get a win on Monday night, and if we're going to actually make the most of this opportunity?
Of course, like you said, there's only 3 teams in it, so in the Euros you have a lot more teams that if you do maybe slip up or whatever, you've got a lot more games to kind of rectify that. But in a 3-man league you don't, and like you said, Monday it's crucial for us to start well, and hopefully we can do that. But it's also crucial that everyone gets behind this, because it's a big chance for us to get to secure a playoff space and for the Euros, and then we can go into the campaign with we can kind of a wee bit of freedom, and we can really push for the automatic places, knowing that we've already guaranteed a playoff spot. So that's the aim, and I think the whole country should get behind the Nations League, and I'm sure they will, like they always do, and by November we can hopefully have secured a playoff spot, and we can look forward to the campaign ahead.
Do you think it could be seen as a hindrance playing a team like Belgium just a few days before what is such a crucial game?
I think it'll be 2 different games, of course it will, but we want to test ourselves against the best. you know, we've obviously got a new manager, a very new squad, so you know there might be some teething problems that you know we've already seen in training. But I feel from today than we were Monday, we're a lot better team, and you know we're set up a lot better, and everything's a lot clearer, and that will take time, of course it will. So you know, playing against the best, I'm sure we'll come under some problems that we can hopefully fix on the pitch, and we can look at the next day that will help us going forward for you know the Albania and Israel games.
Would leading your country back to a major tournament trump all these achievements you were talking about earlier on?
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest honour you can have is play for your country. Of course it is. When you're a young boy, you want to pull on your country's colours, and you know, if you're the one to lead them back to a championship, then that will be special, and it will be special for all the lads, because none of the lads in this squad have experienced a tournament, and it would be a new experience for all, but a very exciting one.
Can I ask you about your the throw-in coach at Liverpool? Because obviously I'm guessing that you'll be one of the ones that kind of focuses.
Yeah, I think I'm the main one. Yeah.
What's the idea? I mean, do you think you found benefits from it already?
Yeah, I think especially our managers is a lot more happier with our throw-ins, but you know it's not necessarily the person taking it. I think we're a lot more switched on when it comes to throw-ins, and you know everyone's in maybe better positions that we're finding it a wee bit easier to get the ball out and switching sides and stuff, and you know also the lads' technique of throw-ins has got better. I can speak that from myself, but you know the first day he came in, I think the gaffer pulled me to one side and says, "You're definitely going with him." So I knew that mine had to improve, but you know it's all the fullbacks that he takes, and you know I think we've all bought into it, and we're all improving, and you know a lot more accurate, and you know sometimes you see a wee bit longer throw and stuff like that. So you know I think it's a positive thing, and it's definitely worked for us.
I've seen there's a couple of kind of ex-pros who are talking about and kind of steering at it a little bit, but I mean in modern game people talk about the small gains and stuff, don't they? And I suppose is that an example of where if you even create one goal or so over the season, that might be the difference between.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the manager, what had happened is the manager probably look back on last season, and obviously it was a very positive season for us, like you said, getting to the final of the Champions League and finishing in top four, and we had a good season, so there was a lot of positives, but one negative that he's seen was we surrendered possession when we had throw-ins, and we gave it back to the team we were playing, which, you know, you're in possession of the ball, you shouldn't just, it's effectively like a pass. So I think he'd looked at that and thought, how am I going to change this? And he's obviously brought this guy in that you know can help us, and already I think in the first 4 games we've been a lot better at it. So you know the gaffer's seen improvements, he's a lot happier with it, and you know hopefully that can continue. But like you said, it's the small gains that can make big differences.
So you implemented it here already?
Not quite, no. Not quite. So we've not worked in throw-ins, but if something goes wrong, I wouldn't say I'm quite an expert though yet. I might need to get the guy up to see some of the lads.
Have you worked out how far you can throw it compared to?
Yeah, we all get measured. I think I was one of the worst. So, but I think from the day he came in to now, I think I've gained about 6 metres in difference. So he's saying with the perimeter of wherever you throw it, if it's, I think I would say 20 metres now, I'm 26. So it makes these small differences that I can throw 6 metres further up the line or 6 metres further across to the centre back or whatever. So I'm happy with it, and all the other fullbacks are happy with it, and hopefully it can continue.
I know a lot has obviously been made of the journey you've made to get to here, but what's it going to feel like for you walking out at Hampden tomorrow with the armband for Scotland when you walked out there so many times in front of a few hundred fans for Queen's Park?
Yeah, it'll be a huge honour. Like I said, for me and my family, it'll be probably quite an emotional day for all them. I think they'd got emotional when I told them, so I'm sure it won't be any different Friday. But for me, it'll just be a huge honour to stand in front of all the lads and walk them out. And like you said, I've obviously been there when there's been maybe 300 or 400 fans, but there'll be a lot more this time, and obviously leading your country out there's no bigger honour, and I look forward to it Friday, and many more games to come.